Yo, what's up everybody? KG on the low here. We're going to be starting a new gun build series. This is going to be for about mid-wipe tier 3 traders. We're going to be going through different styles of guns, so if you guys do have a gun recommendation, leave it down below in the comments. Just let me know what you want to see next. I do kind of have a list that I want to go to, but if you guys come out with some guns that you want to see instead, I'll definitely focus on those. But what we're mainly going to be after in this series is we're going to want to find, like I said, mid wipe. So you're going to be having about tier 3 traders. You might be touching tier 4, just depending on how much you play the game. Right now I have tier 3 traders and I believe 2 or 3 tier 4s, but for the most part I'm just going after those as cheap as what we can get and around the tier 3 tier 4 trader level. The first gun that we're going to be looking at is the AK-74N. I've already played around with this a bunch, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut to whenever I get the build done. Wait, so we just built it. I've already had this build in mind. I've already used it a ton on my AK builds. This works not only for the AK-74N but the AK-MN as well, and that 7.62 series of AK. You know, this build is very similar. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit assemble just to show you that everything that I'm putting on here can be used on tier 3 traders, and so it's gonna cost about 83,000. That's after I've already bought the gun. So already it's going to cost around 120 130,000 before you start buying ammo, which is one scav run. It's one successful scav run on interchange or a quick one on factory, where you just get in, grab some stuff, get out, sell it on the flea, whatever. But this is going to be your build. I'm going to be using this on customs. I'm going to be using it on some of my reserve when I'm getting into the bunker. If you do want to add a suppressor, if you do want to add a scope, I would use the DT hybrid, and then I would add the hybrid 46 onto this guy, still under that tier 3 slot. It's of course going to increase the price a ton. And then also what I would do, I mean, you can buy a hammer scope from traders. I'm mainly wanting to make this series about buying from traders explicitly rather than having to go onto the flea, because flea prices vary and it could end up costing, you know, $100,000 for any kind of scope. And so you can't put a hammer on this guy. I would recommend just buying a PS scope, probably my favorite scope in the game. Or what you can do is you can throw a 30 millimeter on this guy, and then you put a TAC 30. TAC 30 is ridiculously less expensive than Voodoo's right now, and you don't have to pay that ridiculous price of 150,000 of what they're going for. I already have one, so it's not going to show the price. But if I hit assemble, I do I uncheck include parts, and then we just go down to where the TAC 30 is selling for. It's going for 70,000, which is much cheaper than what the Voodoo is. Because if we compare that guy right there, the Voodoo's great. Voodoo's a great site, but this is just about mid wipe. So someone's actually selling this scope for, or suppressor for, cheaper, and then the scope's going for 110,000. So that's gonna up your price from 80,000 to 301,000. No, that's not true, because it's adding in this guy. It's adding in, you know, this kind of stuff. And so it's going to be 260,000 from 80,000. So yeah, if you do want to add a scope, I would recommend doing the TAC 30 over that. And you can also get a TAC 30 from a trade. I'll show you the trade here in a second. If we go ahead and go with this build, real quick, I just want to break down. I do use the OVGP handguard. I've played around with some of these ones. This is what I find just kind of cheaper. Looks cool. I like the tan. You can use the saws. You're only going to get one less recoil. If you look at my ergo right now, and vertical recoil, that's what we're mainly after, is 60 and 47. If you add any of these guys, if you add the ME4, that's going to be the best one. And then usually early on, the enhanced tube is going to be your best bet. And this guy right here, you can add precisions, gens to get a little bit less vertical recoil, but then you're sacrificing 8-10 ergo, and you're not going to be able to ADS. So if you have a suppressor, have a scope, and then have a precision, you're not going to be able to hold those guns up for very long before you run out of arm stamina. But if you are going to use an enhanced tube, this is about as close as you can get. It's one ergo less than the build that I just had. The other thing that you can kind of change up is, if you didn't want to use this grip, you can use any of these guys. You can get +5 more ergo. So if you have a suppressor on it, then you can get your ergo makeup from here just from using this guy instead. But I'll use this one just to get that extra -2. So if we go ahead and buy this, 83,000, 82,000, so not even that big of a difference. If I do from flea instead, we hit assemble on this guy. I'll go ahead and equip it. Let's go ahead and throw some ammo in here just so we can shoot it at the range. Okay, and so if we go ahead and try this puppy out, we got the X400 flashlight on it. I forgot to mention, I put it, I'd use the X400, and on this grip, it automatically puts it on the right side. You can't choose to put it on the left. I actually prefer it on the right side anyways. That way, if people are stripping parts, there's a chance for that they don't see it, and so you can get that back from insurance. But go ahead and throw the laser on there. This is going to be a full auto spray with my mouse up in the air. We'll do it from this range, me ADS, mouse up in the air. Maybe try full auto. Definitely a little bit of a kick on the initial burst, but then once you put in a little bit of recoil control, that's honestly nothing. And so this is going to be the build for the AK 545 series that I do enjoy the most. Like I said, you can vary it a little bit with the suppressor and with the scope. One thing that I did talk about that I was wanting to mention is a TAC 30 trade. So instead of paying the 70,000, you can find 3 KVOS, or you can pay, you know, it's usually around 18,000. I've seen it go as high as 22. And so you're, instead of paying 70K, or if that that scope bumps up to 100,000, like I've seen it before, it, buying the KVOS bottles for it instead. I think you only need tier 2. I want to say tier 2. Yeah, you only need tier 2 Jaeger for this trade. And so all you have to do is buy a 30mm ring mount, and then you can start doing this TAC 30. But if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like it. I'll be doing this series. I believe the next gun build I'm going to be doing is the M4A1, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe, follow, you know, whatever platform you're on, and let me know what build you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.